It's that time of year again when it's back to school, and at the State College of Florida, whether you're 14 or 40, you may find yourself attending class. In this edition of SCF on Campus, we are being joined by the academic leadership of the college. We will visit with the leaders of each of our 3 campus locations, as well as learn about what's in store this year for faculty, staff, and students at SCF. Let me begin by introducing our panel. We have Dr. Jack Crocker, Vice President of Academic Quality and Success, Dr. Bonnie Hesselberg, Provost at SCF Lakewood Ranch and Dean of Nursing and Health Professions. We have Dr. Mike Mears, Vice President of Baccalaureate Programs and Provost at the SCF Bradenton campus. And finally, Darlene Wedler-Johnson, Provost at SCF Venice. Welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's start with the big picture at SCF and academics. Dr. Crocker, you recently gave a speech at the convocation and outlined a little bit what was in store for us this year across all campus sites regarding academic initiatives. Can you tell us a little bit about what some of those initiatives are going to be this year?
I'll be glad to. Education, especially colleges, is one of those places where you get to start anew. And we do it 3 times a year at least with fall, spring, summer enrollments. And so it's always exciting. I know I always said that I was going to do better with this new beginning. But we have the new beginnings, and while some things don't change, a lot of things do change. And at SCF, one of the things that does not change is our mission for the 2-year programs. We are still the transfer institution. Most of our students are community college students. And we have some new things that are in that area. We have a new AS in biotechnology that's starting this time. And that came about because of really the interest in the community, the need for students who had a better background in the sciences and especially biotechnology. So we're starting that up, and we were lucky to get a National Science Foundation grant that is helping support that new program.
Now, where will that program be housed, if you will?
It is actually on the Bradenton campus, but also we'll have courses on the Venice campus as well. So it will be for all students. And as you know, we have new baccalaureate programs that will be starting up, and Dr. Mears will talk about those later on. We have also something that's rare in colleges, and that is the collegiate school. It's a rarity with us because we started with a middle school. As far as we know, no other college has a middle school. It's a chartered public school, but it's on our Bradenton campus. Not quite a year old. We were really excited because it got an A grade this time.
Now, what does that mean, getting an A grade?
It means that on the LCAT scores, our students, and we opened with the 6th and 7th graders, which is kind of rare to have those on your college campus. But they really did extremely well on the LCAT in terms of reading, in terms of communications, and actually outscored the state levels and outscored most of the schools in the 2-county region. So we're very happy with that.
The students who are attending our collegiate school, where do they come from?
It's a Manatee school, Manatee County school. So most of them come from Manatee County. we wanted to emphasize first-generation students in the collegiate school. And fortunately, our first class, the 6th and 7th graders, 68% of those students were first generation, meaning that neither parent had a college degree. So what we're creating, and I can talk more about this later, is really a new model of education. It's a continuum from, in this instance, middle school to the 2-year programs to the baccalaureate programs. Another area that we are beginning to emphasize more is e-learning, the online courses. And so, although we have a sizable number, all of our AA degree courses, our gen ed courses are online, but we are really ramping up our student services automation for online, so we're going to be expanding our online capabilities as well.
Well, I'm sure as gas prices continue to fluctuate, the opportunity to gain my degree without having to get into my car becomes a lot more appealing.
Yeah, well, you know, that is certainly, the marketplace is going there. It's already going there. We still obviously have more students who are face-to-face. That is still our largest segment of students. But what the online does is, so many of our students work, as you know, either part-time or full-time. Let's say that my schedule, my work schedule only allows me to get 2 classes this semester. But with the online availability, I can pick up another course simply because I can do that at midnight or 2 a.m. in the morning. So that gives us much more flexibility as well.
Well, and certainly from the student perspective, also the opportunity of actually being able to become a full-time student without having to actually show up on campus full-time gives them some financial aid options too that I'm sure part-time students don't always have. So it sounds like we've actually got several, you know, in addition to the 3 campus locations, we've actually got several other campuses going on, if you will. We've got our collegiate school campus that this year now has expanded into 8th grade?
Yeah, this year the 7th graders moved to the 8th grade, and then we took in a new 6th grade class. So now we have 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we will phase in the other grades. So it will be a high school, through 6th through high school. The interesting thing for students and parents and the state as well is that the students, when they graduate with their high school degree, will at the same time have an AA degree.
Wow.
So they're getting an AA degree in 2 years at the same time they're getting the high school degree. This saves parents 2 years of tuition. It saves the state taxpayers tuition, tax money for 2 years. And the other part is that Florida Gulf Coast University, we have an agreement with them. They are offering a full ride scholarship to every graduate of our collegiate school. So
fantastic.
You can start at the 6th grade and get your baccalaureate degree with us or with FGCU or with any other university, but with FGCU it would be for free.
Well, as a parent currently paying college tuition, I think just the financial ramifications of that are astounding. But
the most important part is the quality of education that students are getting as well.
And talk about the seamlessness. You get to start and finish within one institution and come away with probably so much more than you would if you were at a regular, if you will, traditional school at the middle school or high school level and then have to transfer to another school.
The idea is to increase the number of baccalaureate degrees, and we aren't competing with the schools. We are simply offering another opportunity for students to be successful toward the baccalaureate degree. And you have to factor in the power of sight, that it's called, the power of place. These students are coming onto a college campus. They come into the 6th grade knowing that their goal is to get a college degree. So the focus then becomes much more of an engaged focus. In addition, we actually are adapting a curricular model, a teaching model from Sweden. And it's based very much on a self-paced approach to education. Teachers are, although they're subject matter experts, they function more as coaches, as tutors. If I can move ahead in math, why should I sit in a classroom with 21 other students and be held to whatever that class is? So I am given the freedom individually to move at my pace. And we are adapting it, and it's working quite well.
Well, and of course it speaks to that student engagement. If I have to sit and wait around for the rest of my class to catch up with me, I'm liable to get bored. I'm liable to disengage as opposed to continuing on with staying focused in what I'm interested in.
Yeah, and every student who comes in gets an iPad. Apple computers, they heard what we were doing and were very interested in that we were starting with the 6th grade. So they actually invited us out to Cupertino to meet with them. And as a result, we ended up with an agreement with Apple so that every student coming in gets an iPad. And so it's certainly a rich technological context that our students are working in, but it's technology as a tool, not technology as an end.
Fantastic. So that's one of the many exciting initiatives we've got that really affect our entire region. But we've got the chance right now to hear a little bit more about what's going on at each individual campus. So let's turn our attention to our 3 campus locations. As you know, SCF serves Manatee and Sarasota counties, and to that end we have 3 locations. One campus is in Bradenton. We have our Lakewood Ranch location, which is in the corporate park area out at Lakewood Ranch. And then our southernmost location, serving our southern counties, is our SCF Venice campus. So let's start with Bradenton, if we will. And Dr. Mike Mears, who's our Vice President for Baccalaureate Programs and Provost. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you, Daisy.
I have to ask a question that I've been asked a few times. So before we look at what's going on specifically at your location, what's a provost?
Well, that's a great question, and I think all of us are trying to figure that one out. I've often heard it's the keeper of the prisons, but basically we're the ones that come to if there are any problems along on campus. We solve that problem and help people move ahead.
Okay.
So that's a pretty broad description, but otherwise, I think my partners in crime will kind of give you their own definition, but that's the way I view it.
Okay. Well, again, this is part of our new structure here at SCF, and each of our locations does have a provost. But interestingly enough, all of you seem to have quite a few roles that you manage in your day-to-day functions. One role that you've taken on is, of course, overseeing our baccalaureate programs. What are some of the baccalaureate programs we currently are offering at SCF?
Okay, and I'd be proud to talk about that list. We started, and Dr. Hesselberg will fill you in on the BSN in detail level, but really the Baccalaureate of Science in Nursing is where we started back in January of 2010. So not that long ago. And that's been started on each of the campuses. It's offered on a rotating basis so that students can go to a campus nearby. But we started with BSN and then actually had their first graduating class at I'll let Dr. Hesselberg talk about it because it's a wonderful story, but this past May. And that continues on. This fall, we started 2 new baccalaureate programs at the college. They're both online programs, kind of building on what Dr. Crocker mentioned. The first program was Health Services Administration, and that's a beautiful complement to what's going on the BSN arena to provide the healthcare administration backbone for this region, and to allow students who perhaps might have backgrounds in nursing, but also some of the other health science fields that want to go on and get a baccalaureate degree without really having to leave the region. So Health Services Administration started really just this last week. And then the other program that started this fall is a program in early childhood education. And we say that's from birth to age 4. But early childhood really is another online program that really helps prepare the pre-K teachers, administrators, managers, those kind of folks in that arena. So the focus is on the child at a very young age. And it's a unique program because there is nothing like it in the state And because of that reason, we've actually had some interest from across the state, up in the Panhandle down to the Keys, for students who want to have an online program.
And of course, we're able to serve those students because the program is in fact online.
That's right. And when we first heard about the programs that the community wanted, one of the things that students mentioned is they wanted programs that were very much accessible. So the online factor really helps that access. It creates that open access for students no matter where they are. And so we're very pleased with those two.
The other thing about early childhood, as I recall, is the certification for child care directors and I think instructors has changed over the years. So the idea of having a career ladder, if you will, becomes much more important just in terms of an employability aspect.
That's very true. A number of the laws that the legislature has enacted support such a move, such a program. And students are recognizing that, so they're coming back to get that degree so that they can be in the right place at the right time when the jobs come about.
So these are programs that we've got already going on.
Right.
But we've got some other programs that are kind of in the pipeline. What are some of those?
We do. We have actually 3 programs that start this January, so January of 2012. And by the way, we're accepting applications. We can talk about that a little bit later, but for all the programs. But in the January, we start with Public Safety Administration and Homeland Security. These are 2 very highly related programs. We have a lot of correlation. But those are the programs that will help serve the fire community, the police community, and emergency management. And they really wanted, they've cried for such a program now and really helped us create this program to bring it to the local level. Again, those will be online also starting in January. And then finally, the other program that we already have that will start in January is Energy Technology Management, which is kind of a new cutting edge program, at least for the state of Florida. There's a few around the nation, but not many. And this again will be an online program that will allow students to progress and get a bachelor's degree, Energy Technology Management, in which they can become energy specialists and then energy facility specialists. So we're very excited about the opportunities that await in that arena. And part of the planning for that, and I talked about the planning for these programs separately, but had folks at the table from FPL and Train Corporation and a number of the other alternative energy companies that are very interested in seeing what we're doing here.
So it sounds like these baccalaureate programs are very much focused and, if you will, niche oriented. They're not, I'm not going to be able to go to SCF and get my degree in philosophy or English. These baccalaureate programs are very much workplace related. How do you come up with the markets that you've already identified? Where's your information come from?
Well, you're right, Daisy, in that as a college, we have to focus on workforce baccalaureates. That's exactly what the legislature allows us to do. They really want to see programs that translate into jobs, that feed directly into our local job market. So it all starts really by listening to the community and what the community needs are, talking with our local chambers, with our EDCs, just meeting one-on-one. I mentioned about the fire and police and emergency management. They came to us and said they were really tired of having to see that their employees would have to travel up to Tampa or even Orlando or private schools, that they felt we needed a local program that would offer that. And the same was true in BSN, and the same is true on any of the programs we've had. It's just listening to our constituents, to the people that live here, and what programs that they want. So you're right, we cannot offer a degree in philosophy. That's really something that right now would need to come from a university, or because it's not a workforce degree. But the workforce degrees that I mentioned are the ones that we will be offering.
So you're saying if I major in philosophy, I can't get a job?
No, I don't. I did not exactly say that. But if you majored in philosophy and want to come back for a workforce baccalaureate degree, we'd be glad to entertain that notion. The other thing I'll mention is we have a couple other programs that are going to be up before the State Board of Education this fall that the community wanted. And one of those is International Business and Trade, not available locally. And the neat thing about that degree is students can opt for an area concentration in maritime management. So we worked with the Port of Manatee, with the folks out at the port, and what is needed in that kind of industry. And there's a real niche. You know, Florida has a large coastal workforce needs. And so we're looking forward to bringing that on, but that would be in the fall of 2012. And one closely related to that is technology management, bachelor's degree in technology management. And that one, again, would also come in fall of 2012. So we're trying to listen to what the local needs are. We bring the planning group together. We've had planning committees anywhere from 8 to 10 members up to nearly 30. And Daisy, you were part of that international business and trade, in which we had many members from the local community businesses aboard. And so it's been a fun ride, and we're pleased that we can offer these students this local opportunity.
And I think one of the things that I hear you saying, and really it was something that Dr. Crocker started out with, is this idea of being responsive to community needs, but the fact that we still have that 2-year mission, and that these 4-year programs really are an extension of supporting the 2-year programs that we have, and making sure that people can get their education and that we retain these employees here in our local area, because I think that seems to be a concern that we've had here for a long time, is retaining our talent. We often train and then people leave, and they leave because these opportunities aren't available. So it's fantastic that they don't have to leave anymore.
That's right.
How long does it take from the time that, because I've heard you say like the fire department came to you, how long does it take from the time maybe a group comes to the college to say we really feel like this is a need, a workforce need, to the time that something goes up to the state?
Well, we try to move things along as quickly as we can. There is a due process, a very deliberative process in the state, and it's a good one, because it means that no one is doing anything that's of duplicative nature. Nothing is going under the table. We're really very above board. We're really discussing with our area partners. And so I would say the time is anywhere from about 16 to 18 months. It does take a while till we get we make the initial notification with DOE until we can actually offer the program. So when I mentioned some of the ones that are coming aboard in August of 2012, those things were kind of conceptualized back in September, October of 2010, about a year and a half.
Okay. What about, so that's what you were doing as far as the baccalaureate programs and that VP role. Anything you want to share about what's happening at the Bradenton campus?
Well, the Bradenton campus, I think I'll be repeating some what Dr. Crocker mentioned, but that's where we house right now the collegiate school, and grades 6 through 8, growing up through grade 12 in the next 2 years. And that's also where we have the new associate's degree in biotechnology that Dr. Crocker mentioned. So that's been kind of our primary focus. We have lots of wonderful programs in music and theater and arts, and it's a real neat environment to be in. I'm very lucky to be there, but nothing I would say are brand new programs other than the ones that have already been mentioned.
Okay, very good.
I'll try not to hog all the time.
Okay, well, we'll give everybody else their due process time. Going back to the baccalaureate program, so how does a student learn more about these programs? Who do I call? Where do I go?
We have program directors, a program director in charge of each program, but for the student who might be watching or hearing about these, probably the easiest way to get the contact information is to go to the SCF website. The SCF website has the contact information. It has the application that I mentioned earlier. They are available for the spring semester, and also the name of the program director, their phone number. And we would love to hear from the students. We'd love to be able to answer the questions. And I think the word value comes up. You know, the college has a strong reputation in the state. But when one looks at the value that we can offer and the cost of our programs compared to a state university model or a private school model, it's pretty incredible. Our costs tend to be about 50 to 60% of what a state university would be in terms of tuition and costs, and we're probably in the nature of 10 to 15% of what a private college or university is. And here again, State College of Florida, as I mentioned, has got a strong reputation, nearly 55 years here in the community, but our students tend to be the ones that the universities love to get, and our employers love the hire because they know the quality that's behind it. So.
Very good. Well, thank you for that valuable insight into baccalaureate programs and what's happening at Bradenton. Moving along through our region, we come to the newest part of the SCF family, SCF Lakewood Branch, and Dr. Bonnie Hesselberg. And I have to start by asking you, since Dr. Mears alluded to it, the first graduating class of our BSN, what was that like?
Well, Daisy, thank you for having me. And you're right, I am the provost for the Lakewood Ranch campus, which houses our Baccalaureate of Nursing program. And what was that like? It's absolutely a dream come true. Not only were we able to graduate 38 brand new baccalaureate nurses, but we were able to do it in a very quick turnaround time. I heard you ask Mike about how long does this take. Well, you know, the community, I came here 8 years ago, and for 8 years the community had been asking me, when are we going to get a baccalaureate degree at the State College of Florida? And in fall of 2009, we actually began to discuss that. And by March, well, maybe it was the fall of 2008, but by March of 2009, we actually had a proposal before the state. It took some of our community partners who had been asking for this program for some time, took them with us to Tallahassee, and got our approval from the Department of Education to offer the program. So from there, it was off and running. Mm-hmm. We admitted the first class of a little over 41 students, I believe, in January of 2010 and graduated them in May of 2011. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal time. Our mission, our vision for these baccalaureate and nursing students and graduates is that they become leaders, that they become our leaders of our nursing units in the county. We primarily serve Manatee and Sarasota County, but in this graduating class, we actually had students graduate from 5 different counties, all in our surrounding area. It's a rather unique program in that we offer classes in 5.5-week sessions, so that a student takes one class at a time for 5.5 weeks, concentrates on that, and moves on to the next class. So it's allowed these students to move through a program, and a quality program, in a very short period of time. Absolutely, the program was built because of community need and the request from the community and our healthcare partners to offer this degree.
Can you talk a little bit about how, in your particular area in healthcare, how do you work with community? Because healthcare has been and it continues to be such a major imperative in our region as far as workforce development and career laddering. Yeah. So what kinds of things do you do with these community partners, and who are these partners that you refer to?
Well, I consider our community partner any healthcare agency, any healthcare, well, basically agency that would be offering health care to our citizens. Okay?
So it's not just hospitals?
So not just hospitals, no. But of course, hospitals are the largest community that we serve, because the majority of our associate degree nursing students, of which currently we have 310, we've graduated over 3,600, more than that, nurses for this area. Wow. So that if you go to one of our local hospitals, all the way from Hillsborough to Charlotte County and beyond, you're going to find one of our grads probably taking care of you. Because we have actually graduated that many. And this program was really built, the baccalaureate program was built for those students to come back, workforce degrees, to get a higher degree. But how do we work with those communities? Well, we actually have advisory councils where we get together once a month. We have a consortium, an education consortium. We get together once a month with the vice presidents of nursing in the hospitals, the directors of their education departments. The long-term care facilities are involved, the other schools are involved, and we talk about the issues and what are the needs that this county and our citizens need. What is the need that we need to do? What is that gap that we need to fill to really make sure that we have safe, quality health care for our citizens of our county? And that's what this is all about. It's absolutely a wonderful forum to be able to talk with them about that. And one of the things I need to say, or would like to say, is that our associate degree program, as I said, we've graduated over 3,600 students from the associate degree program in the 50 years that we've been in business at State College of Florida. And so to add this next level of the baccalaureate degree is just one more way to serve our citizens of our community. We also partner with Florida State University, where our graduates now can move right into either a master's degree or get the doctorate in nursing practice if they would so choose. And some of our new graduates that just graduated are actually going into that program this fall. One has been actually accepted to Duke University, so we're very proud of our graduates as well, in that they're well qualified, as Dr. Crocker spoke about, well qualified from the very beginning to move into these higher levels of education.
And of course, with what you've just mentioned, that theme of collaboration comes up again in terms of working with educational institutions that really help us provide that career ladder. So you can go to the SCF Lakewood Ranch site and pretty much start at an associate's level and get to a doctorate in nursing.
You absolutely could do that. You absolutely could do that. We have currently about 50 SCF or associate degree students that are in the nursing program, and they are actually taking all of their classes at the Lakewood Ranch campus, from chemistry to microbiology, anatomy and physiology, English, math. All of those classes are being offered at the Lakewood Ranch campus, in addition to their nursing classes are offered there. Once they have come, and they're able to practice their craft, if you will, in a state-of-the-art facility.
And of course, we can't talk to Bonnie and not talk about her baby. And the fact that because we now have this Medical Technology and Simulation Center, students, not only nursing students, but students at SCF can go to Lakewood Ranch and complete other general education requirements that they weren't able to do. So tell us a little bit about the MTSC. I know that's your favorite acronym.
Yes, MTSC, what can I say? Well, you know, Lakewood Ranch is really noted for the Center of Innovation and Technology. And so when we put the Medical Technology and Simulation Center at Lakewood Ranch was absolutely the right place for it. This particular center was actually built around what I call a simulated hospital, virtual hospital, mock hospital, whatever you want to call it. It's a 42,000 square foot building, pretty much built around the concept of where can we help to educate our nursing students and our other healthcare practitioners for the citizens of our county? Where can we educate them in a very safe environment where they can come in, if they're going to make an error, make it here on one of our state-of-the-art mannequins. We have a 9-bed, all-private room, hospital, if you will, with a large nursing station in the middle. We house high-fidelity simulators, which again are made locally through our Medi Corporation down the street. And we have a birthing simulator, so if we can simulate those types of incidences. We have a neonatal unit and a medical care, intensive care unit, if you will. So our students are able to come into that particular setting, and they'll come into the setting and it's just like an ICU. I have people from the community come in and say, oh my, this is better than my ICU. This is larger than my ICU, right? So it is set up for that type of setting. Students come in full uniform when they come to that setting so that they learn from the very beginning, these are not just plastic dolls that they're playing with, but these become real qualifications to them. And as I said, they're high fidelity, so they do simulate pretty much what the human body can simulate, okay? So they're able to practice in that environment to become very safe, confident, competent practitioners, and we're very, very proud of them. One of the other things is our associate degree program has just undergone a major accreditation from the National League for Nursing Accrediting Commission, which is really the premier accrediting commission or agency for nursing programs at the associate degree as well as all the way through the doctorate. And they've just undergone a site visit, a self-study, and received 8 years of continuing accreditation, which is the most you can receive with no recommendations whatsoever. And our baccalaureate degree has also done the same thing, has gone through this accreditation process, wrote their self-study, had their site visit, and have initial accreditation, which is the best you can get for 5 years for initial accreditation for our baccalaureate in nursing. So we're very proud of our faculty and our staff and our students that really help to show that this is a good quality program for all of our constituents in our county. So we're very, very proud of that.
So a student interested in learning more about the associate degree, what's the process that they need to follow?
Well, I think I would say the same thing that Dr. Mears has just said. One of the best ways to find out about any of our degrees at SCF is to click on the computer to scf.edu, type in nursing, and you're going to go right to the nursing website. That is where we keep the most up-to-date information. And there they will be asked one question. Are you already an RN or you want to be an RN? Okay? An RN means, do you want to be a registered nurse? Okay? You don't come out being a registered nurse. You come out of the associate degree program prepared to take a national exam that in turn gives you the license to be a registered nurse. Very proud of our graduates there too. Almost 99% of them pass that exam on the first attempt.
Wonderful.
I think the last time was 98.5. So we're very, very proud of our program, our faculty, and our students.
And of course, we do offer information sessions at each of our campus sites. So if you're interested in learning more about the nursing program, there are information sessions. And typically, if you look at the events calendar on the home page of our SCF website, you can pick up when the next information sessions are, because I do believe we have some AS information sessions coming up in early fall for the next class.
That's true. We offer information sessions almost on every week or every twice a week for the associate degree program in nursing. We have other health programs as well that offer information sessions. We have the radiography technology program. They've just offered or will this week, I think, offer their information session. We have the occupational therapy assistant program and the physical therapy assistant program. They too have information sessions so you can find out about those programs. We admit students to those programs once a year. Our dental hygiene program, which is a very popular program, again, an associate degree program, we have information sessions as well as start those programs one time a year. What's unique, I think, about our dental assisting program is we actually have a clinic on campus. And you heard about the collegiate school and you heard about the other things that are going on at the Bradenton campus. These other health programs are actually housed at the Bradenton campus versus at the Lakewood Ranch campus. At the Lakewood Ranch campus, we may have many of their students because they'll take the chemistry and the microbiology and the anatomy and those classes. But then those courses are actually, and programs are actually housed at the Bradenton campus. And we have a clinic, as I was saying, that if you have the time and you want to have a student maybe work on your teeth, if there's a dental hygienist, then that is a place that you could go and for a very nominal fee, get your hygiene, your dental hygiene met. So that's a really great service that we have for our community.
What another great example of community responsiveness.
Yeah, and I think that program, if I could just say, they also have a grant through the Boys and Girls Club talking about community responsiveness and the kids in our county, where at least one time out of every month, they will bring a busload of students from one of our local Manatee County schools and bring those children into the clinic. And we have dentists that volunteer, we have dental hygienists that volunteer, as well as our students, and they will get teeth cleanings and fillings, and all of that is done free of charge, along with our Boys and Girls Club. So
wonderful.
A fantastic thing that they're doing for the students.
So lots going on in not only nursing, but all of the health professions at SCF.
Right. And thinking of new beginnings, and Lakewood Ranch campus. That also is where we're housing our Health Service Administration program. And that particular program, talking about workforce degrees and the other health programs that we have, those students have an avenue now for a baccalaureate degree, and they can move right into that program, just like our associate in nursing students can move into the Baccalaureate of Science for Nursing. Our other health profession students can move into the Health Service Administration.
So again, the health services sounds like a great umbrella next step career ladder for several different healthcare fields.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
To make the leaders
All right,
of
so
our community.
You're keeping busy.
That I try.
Okay. Now, as we head along to the southern end of our region, we have Darlene Wedler-Johnson with us, who's the provost at the Venice campus. And before you tell us about the programmatic things going on, I can remember when I first came to the college and I got a chance to visit the Venice campus. It is truly a beautiful campus. Tell us a little bit just about the campus in general.
Well, I call it 100 acres of educational paradise. It is beautiful. It is village design classrooms, labs, student support system centers situated around a beautiful lake. We have lots of flora, fauna, wildlife there. It's absolutely stunning. We have an environmental education classroom. That's an outdoor classroom. Students can take the pontoon out in the lake and do some experiments there. They can we have a greenhouse, a lot of environmental sustainability types of programs and courses going on there.
Which of course works in very well with one of the newest programs that we've added to the Venice campus. Tell us a little bit about the new AS program down.
Well, we're very excited to tell the community that we have 2 brand new state-of-the-art labs on the Venice campus for 2 AS programs. The first program is engineering technology. The second program is construction management. Both of those programs have specializations in alternative energy. Both of them have equipment that is used in the industry. So they get hands-on practical application, so they're ready to hit the ground running when they get into their jobs. And both of them also are transferable into the program Mike talked about, the Baccalaureate of Applied Science and Energy Technology Management. The Building Construction Management program allows students to sit for the Florida General Contractors Licensing. The Engineering Technology program has students totally aligned with what's called the Nationwide Manufacturing Skills Standards Council. So both programs are very good opportunities for our students at SCF.
So for example, with the manufacturing certificate, students can take that exam and articulate 15 credits into the engineering technology program, which is a fabulous way to get a quick start into gaining a degree. So that certainly is something that, again, going back to what we're seeing as a trend in career laddering and taking people who may already be in the workforce, getting them some credit for the skills they already have and getting them back into an educational track that will hopefully lead to an advanced degree. Now, the other day I happened to be in your office and I looked out your window and saw this beautiful trail. Tell us a little bit about the trail.
Oh, I'd be happy to. We have put in a 1-mile trail, walking trail, around the campus lake. And the trail it's about a mile, and it has 10 exercise stations on it. And those exercise stations are designed by Fit Trail. and that particular form of exercise has been endorsed by the President's Council on Physical Education to be an excellent resource for community wellness and fitness. So we're very excited to have that on campus. We are working on putting in an educational nature trail also around the campus. The best part of this is that it's open to the community, so we welcome people to get their sneakers, come on out, walk with us, and enjoy the beauty of this stunning lakeside trail.
What else do you think is important for the community to know about the Venice campus? Because I mean, it's been around now 30 plus years, sort of started in as I believe a storefront, and in fact you were there when it started, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
So you've seen a lot of change at the Venice campus. But what do you think is important for the community to know about SCF Venice?
I think what's important to know is that it's a full-service campus, that we have been around for over 25 years. We're very established. We are affordable, as State College of Florida is, of course. We have reputation of State College of Florida. We are actually in this environment where it's a very comfortable learning environment for students because of the beauty, but it's a very student supportive environment. For example, we have an academic resource center there that is nothing but an entire building dedicated to helping students with tutoring and learning, and that's a tremendous resource. We also have our whole second floor, Bonnie, of the Professional Development Center is devoted to nursing. So we have the simulators Bonnie talked about, and it's a very good opportunity, again, for students to be able to go through and get a 4-year degree at the Venice campus.
You know, you bring up something that I think a lot of times students don't recognize, and that is that there are a variety of support services available for them once they start school. And while, of course, you have your faculty member and the office hours that they may have, the fact that there is an academic resource center, a place where you can go to at a time that's convenient for you to get help, is a message that I think more and more students need to hear, because you're not alone. You're not alone. There is help for you. Because we recognize that for some of our students, it's been a while since they've been in school.
Yeah, and I'd like to mention that the college has put in new veteran services too. Anyone can go to the website myrebootcamp.com, and there are resources there for veterans. We have veterans advisors now. It's not always easy to get back into civilian life after you've been in the service, and so we're trying to help veterans retool. We're trying to help them with financing, and we've set up an actual veterans peer assistance program that helps with the transitioning back into civilian life. So we're very proud of the new veteran services.
And this is a new service at the Venice campus.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about what's happening at Venice?
Gosh, I think I want to talk about the Information Literacy Center, because we're putting in a new center where we're showing students how to obtain skills in accessing contemporary information. The new digital age is complex to some, and to really understand how to navigate it is good for the students in their classes and when they get out into the work world. What's interesting about the Information Literacy Center is that SCF will be among the first in the nation to be using iPads with the students as part of that development. So that's very exciting. The Venice campus is very technologically rich. Each one of our classrooms has technology in it. We have video conferencing, so sometimes we have classes where students are watching other students from the Bradenton campus or from Lakewood Ranch campus, and so that's a very nice aspect. Our classes are small in size, and that is a very nice feature of the campus as well.
Okay, so lots going on there, and opportunities, again, it sounds like for the community, whether it's the trail, or of course we have our Evening Under the Stars where we bring the community in, and it looks like there may be some other things you've got up your sleeve this year to bring the community to what is truly a beautiful, beautiful campus.
Thank you. We do have some events coming up. We have Arts and Letters Day in November, and at that event we'll have the Oslo coming to present Hamlet Redux, and then we also are going to have Scott Brown, who is a noted author. He's been listed by critics as a great American author with a very good talent for satire, and he'll be at the campus. We, again, as you say, Evening Under the Stars. And then we do really interesting kind of multicultural events. We're having a Buddhist monk come in to talk to the students in the community about joyful effort. And so that's kind of nice too. We've had all sorts of cultures represented and all sorts of performances from around the world. So it's there's a lot happening on the Venice campus.
And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't at least put in a little plug for corporate and community development, as that's an avenue that community members have in terms of taking very short-term targeted courses at any of our campus sites, as well as, again, e-learning opportunities that we too have. And in a later show, we'll be focusing on what some of those efforts will be this year. But now that we've had a chance to hear from all three campuses, I'm going to go back to Dr. Crocker and think about your thoughts about any other initiatives that may be happening, or any other message that you feel our community members really need to know and understand about SCF and the kind of institution that we are.
I was going to ask you to talk about CCD, because that's the that's the component that we had not mentioned. But it reminds us, I think, that we are a comprehensive institution. And so when we became a state college through the agreements with the state, and by the way, there are 28 community colleges, and we know that 26 are going to, 19 are already state colleges. They've started offering baccalaureate degrees, and we only know of 2, like Keys and Madison, that may not. But 26 of the community colleges are becoming state colleges, because it's a system that's working, especially to provide workforce degrees. So now with that status, we are still the community college. We are still the 2-year college. And I must emphasize that with the 2-year college, we're still open access. Just because we became a 4-year school offering 4-year degrees doesn't mean that we changed. Our character is still that hope that we offer to students, no matter the background. As long as you have a high school diploma or equivalent, we let you in and give you a chance to succeed. And we've done an outstanding job with that for, as Mike mentioned, going into 55 years now, because...
and Mike, I think you've been here all 55, if I'm not mistaken.
That's only a rumor. That is only a rumor, and not true, not true. Most of it, though.
That's an interesting point, too, because we have, I think, about almost 30% of our faculty, full-time faculty, have been here 15 years or more.
Wow.
So we have not only an outstanding faculty, we have one that's experienced. They came here, they like the school, and they've shown their commitment by continuing to be here. So that comprehensive nature now, and we mentioned, I think it is a unique continuum. I mentioned that we are creating, I think, a new model of education, and we have 2 or 3 more state colleges that have come to look at our collegiate school because they're interested in that model. I might mention too, Bonnie has been excited but quite humble. The accrediting visiting teams that are the peers for those programs invariably said these were the best programs that they'd ever visited. Wow. We just had a visit from University of Chester in England. They toured the health facility, the simulation labs, and they were blown away. They said, we don't have anything like this at our university. We just had a visitor from Fudan University in China who came through, and he said they would be, and Fudan is one of the top 5 universities in China, and he said we would be very interested in arranging an partnership to use this facility so our nurses can be trained the way you're doing. And that brings up another area that we are beginning to expand, and that's our international focus. Mike mentioned the International Baccalaureate, International Business program, but we're getting a lot of interest, and we have not expanded internationally yet. But surprisingly, we have students from over 46 countries.
Wow, without any effort as far as looking at
any effort.
that.
So I would like to emphasize this continuum that we talked about. You can start at the 6th grade and you can get a doctorate. It is also very cost effective because, for example, with the master's with Florida State, that's not costing us anything. It's not we aren't creating a new program with a new administrative structure, with a new bureaucracy. That's already been created at Florida State. So what we're serving in this instance, we're serving as a broker. We are bringing in programs that the community needs without the state having to own these programs or to create new programs. That would be very costly. So we are an institution that offers quality. It's very cost effective, but again, we are still a transfer institution, and we're still at one time they called the community college movement the Ellis Island of America for education, because it offers that access to everyone, and our transfer students. I'm jumping around here, but our transfer students, when they leave us, go to the university as juniors, they perform as well or better than the native students, those who started as freshmen. So it's an institution on the move. It's exciting to be here, and we are first and foremost serving our students and our community.
So as thousands of students descend upon our 3 major locations, along with thousands who connect to us virtually, there is no doubt that SCF continues its commitment to quality education and community responsiveness. Many thanks to our panelists today, thanks to all of you, and hope to see you next time at SCF on campus.